Hey, welcome to the basement. I'm here working on recording the very last chapters of the Other Wes Moore in an audio file for easy following along with the novel. So, while I'm working on that, here's what you're going to work on. You are going to keep working on the reading that was originally due for today, and for the first time, I'm going to have you dive back into one of the earlier Wes Moore chapters to make a new slide on your Other Wes Moore assessment. Let's take a look in Classroom for what that looks like. This is the reading, pages 125 to 145, that was due today. You can see I've moved that to this Friday. By moving it to Friday, you now have tomorrow to work on it, if you need to. My suggestion is, if this is not already done, that's where you start. It's probably a good opportunity to jump in here and explain what Mr. Gum and I think is going on. This source log, this research project, it's a lot. And we want you to know that that's, for both of us, both Mr. Gum and myself, to us, that is the big assessment for this unit. In a lot of ways, you've already tackled the Other Wes Moore by watching the documentary and just keeping up with the reading. My hope is that as you keep doing these slides, you'll realize, oh, it's the same thing every time, and I just have to do 8 of them. So more and more, I hope that the Other Wes Moore work begins to ratchet down in importance so that you can keep your schedule open for working on Mr. Gum's source log. And right now, that's all it is, just the source log. Is that going to become something else? Yes, but for now, it's just that one project. So, continuing to look at the tour of Classroom, when today's assignment posts, it's the next reading. This is where I'm going to hide today's video, and this isn't going to be due until Friday the 17th, so we're pushing this back a whole week. So we're finishing up the text, I shouldn't say novel, the text, nice and slowly, so that you have plenty of time to finish the reading and also do each of the 8 slides for your card game. Let's open up the card game, and I'm going to open up the template. And what I'm going to show you here on the template is what I would hope your card game looks like by Friday of this week. Not at the end of class today, not by the end of Wednesday, but Friday of this week. That way, lots of space to spread out your work, and where you need to, working on the source log instead of this, if that's where your focus needs to be. Okay, so the very first day that we worked on this assessment, we made the slide called Lost. Then the last class, we made the slide called Hunted. And now for the first time, we're going to dive back earlier. You see how I clicked the plus sign to make a new game board. And I'm going to go ahead and just use my text to do this. And I'm going to go back to the table of contents and find out that chapter 1 is Daddy Coming With Us? All right, there we go. And now I'm going to go back to chapter 1, and I'm going to use my newfound skills of picking out nonfiction facts, and I'm going to do the same decision-making process that I went through for the Other Wes Moore card and the Incarcerated Wes Moore card. I'm just going to follow the same directions, but with a different chapter. The one thing that makes it different when we go back to the first chapter is that according to our reading calendar, the very first reading assignment we read was between pages 5 and 16, and the second reading assignment was 16 to 25. That was because we were reading half chapters when we started the unit. Now, when we're doing these slides, we're doing the whole chapter. So the Is Daddy Coming With Us slide covers information from page 5 to page 25. So when I'm looking for evidence here and evidence here, I'm looking between pages 5 and 25. Okay? So, the reading that was due for today, now due on Friday. The reading that would be due on Friday is now due the following Friday, so take it nice and slow. There is now audio files, I should say, available for the readings that were due today, and for the readings that are due for Friday. And I'm going to keep working on having audio files for the readings that are due next Friday, so that whenever you click on the reading file in Classroom, the reading assignment in Classroom, so let's take a look at what's due Friday. There are now audio files that if the speakers were on in my office, you would hear my lovely voice reading the text to you. Okay? So find the tools that work for you. If it has to be working on the source log instead, that's fine, but today is a slow and steady wins the race work day.